I've reviewed many budget-oriented gaming mice in the past, and although I've spoken favorably of many of them, there aren't any thus far that I've reviewed that I would actually consider to be a daily driver. Currently I use this right here, which is the MX Master 2S. If you'd like to see my full thoughts on this mouse, then you can check out the cards up in the video description. It's a $100 mouse, and I purchased this mouse for a very specific reason. But if it weren't for my video editing workflow, the mouse I'm about to show you I think would come really close to being something I would actually consider. What I have here is the Zelotes T-90, and in some markets it's actually referred to as the Great Spider Inception, which has to be the greatest name ever given to a gaming peripheral. It has the aggressive gamer theme that we've all come to expect from objects in this price bracket, and of course it has RGB lighting with a total of 6 colors on 7 different zones. It runs through a breathe cycle of the various colors available, a static illumination of those same 6 colors, or it can breathe through all 6 colors slowly, transitioning from one to the next. And if you just want to turn the lights off, which I was inclined to do from the get-go, you simply hold down the button for 2 seconds. I still don't understand the purpose behind RGB lighting on a two-toned device. This is black and red. In my humble opinion, only red lighting actually looks good on this device. Cycling through all the other colors just makes it look horrendous. The ergonomic design fits my hand very nicely, however it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for individuals with maybe smaller or larger hands than I have, but at least for me, it's pretty nice. It has a soft touch material on the buttons and the palm rest, which is nice because these are the parts of the device that you're going to be touching the most. However, the sloped sides of the mouse use a slick material that makes it difficult to pick up. The scroll wheel is another pain point. Half the surface area is this soft, grippy material, which you'd expect from a scroll wheel, and half is a slick, clear material that's obviously only there so that the light can shine through. This is an obvious example of form over function. I'd much prefer the grippy material cover the entire scroll wheel than be able to see the RGB lighting peek through. The scroll wheel has a satisfyingly loud and resistive click, which I really appreciate, and all the buttons on the mouse are pretty easy to reach, again if you fall within a pretty average parameter of hand size. The only one that's difficult to reach is the DPI change button, which is on the very top. However, that's probably the button that you're going to be using the least. The small thumb rest on the left of the mouse is also a nice touch. The feature list for this budget peripheral is actually pretty impressive. It uses an optical sensor that is rated up to 9200 dpi. Now the sensor is not particularly accurate at this setting, so I wouldn't really recommend using it. 8 individual buttons adorn the mouse. You have obviously the right and left click, but they are each rated at 800 million clicks a piece. To put that in perspective, that's 1 click per second, every second of every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, for the next 25 years. If that sounds like a lot, that's because it is. If you compare it to something like the Death Adder Elite, which is a premium and decently expensive mouse, it's rated at only 50 million clicks, which is still pretty impressive. So I think you can understand my doubts when they claim that this $15 mouse lasts 16 times longer than a $50 mouse. As previously mentioned, the scroll wheel also acts as a click, and they decided to give this one a rating of 120 million clicks. The DPI adjustment is found on top of the mouse, and you can cycle through 6 different sensitivity settings, all the way from 1000 up to 9200. A fire button is found directly to the left of the left click. It's decently easy to locate, and its intended purpose is to be an automatic double or triple click. You can probably imagine some gaming scenarios where you want to fire rapidly. You can just keep hitting that button to spam the left click. Or you could just use it to open files on your desktop easier. It has forward and backward buttons, which are typically reserved for browser navigation, but can be programmed to perform different functions in-game, and lighting effects is the final button, but this can't be programmed to do anything other than change the lighting effects. Probably the most surprising feature I found on this mouse was the weight adjustment. So essentially it comes with 8 individual weights that you can add or remove to change how heavy it feels. Professional gamers are very particular in how much their mouse feels. Now, I don't imagine any professional gamers use this mouse, but it's still a nice touch and not something I was expecting from a $15 device. And of course it comes with a braided cable and included Velcro strap to keep things tidy when you're not using it. The Zelotes T-90 is an impressive mouse in its own right. Its list of features is surprisingly long for a device that's so inexpensive. The only thing I have a problem with is that the advertising for this mouse is a little misleading. While the mouse does have 8 buttons, only 6 of them can actually be used in games. The sensor does not appear to be capable of its comparatively high DPI rating, and to say that I have my doubts believing their 800 million click lifespan is to put it mildly. But their Amazon reviews seem to indicate that the support staff is responsive and return policy is generous, so take that for what it's worth. If you appreciate this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you'd like to purchase this device for yourself, then follow my affiliate link in the video description. We are also currently doing a giveaway for a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, or maybe a B+. Check the video description for your chance to enter. It's what we use to power this NES retro gaming console. You can see the full build video in the link up in the cards. We're also giving away a set of Bluetooth headphones, so check out that link in the video description as well. And also consider subscribing so you will be alerted when our new content is available. Well, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.